So now on the show, I'm joined by the Beachtown boys, Fred and Zane. Hi, how's it going? What's new with you guys?
Hello.
Hey, all good.
Hey.
We are currently preparing to release our next song and writing new music because we're always writing stuff.
Always on the grind.
Yeah,
I love
always.
that.
Indeed.
What about you, Fred?
Yeah, just writing, preparing. We've got an EP coming out in the summer called Hate for Another Day. It's out in August. We've got the third of five singles out now, so two more to go, and then the
Optimista.
EP. Yes,
Mm.
indeed.
I
And
actually, I have to say, just at the top, I am really like loving the recent releases. So good. And especially Optimista played it on the show a couple of weeks ago. It's like you said, I think you said on social media, it's like your most danceable offering yet.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
for sure,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because
very.
what kind of made you go down that route? Because I know you're quite like alternative pop, but what was the kind of
Yeah.
inspiration behind that, if you like?
I remember writing it. It was like I was just on a call with my parents. I was kind of like ignore them a bit, even though I shouldn't have. But I was just like playing, and I was just doing some bossa nova things that I usually do. I don't know. I've grown up playing acoustic guitar, and I think there's just like a weird Balearic influence or like bossa nova music I've always loved, been a fan of. And when I play acoustic guitar, I always just instinctively play that. And I was just playing through these chords that were like kind of jumpy and bossa nova. And
Mm.
I was like, just said bye to my parents and just recorded it. And it was like, it just wanted, I think it just wanted to be jumpier. Like, cause the natural bossa nova beat was in there already. It was just, it had just had a groove to it,
Yeah.
which is
Mm.
wrong with it. And then the bass line as well. It's probably the most complicated bass line. Like that day
Oh
in
yeah.
the in yeah, yeah. Like Fred did it and it was just like I was like, wow,
It was a
it's
fun one. It was a
yeah.
fun one for sure.
I think that's where a lot
Yeah.
of the bounce comes from. It's just that bass line is
Oh
very
yeah. You can definitely hear that in the song. So sorry, Mum, Dad, I'm off to go and Oh well.
yes.
So I want to go back a little bit to like the story of you two meeting because Fred, you're from London, and Zane,
Yeah.
your like origins, if you like, are from Menorca. But is it true
Mm.
that you met in the queue for a gig before? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
It
What
was
gig was
a
it? How did this happen?
it was a Rex Orange County show
Oh,
back in
okay.
2019 in Kingston, I think it was. And
Yeah. It
literally
was
met
like
him
the
in
cheap album release
yeah,
tickets.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I met him in the queue outside. So he was in front of me and someone further up in the queue like dropped a ticket. And as we were going in, Zane picked it up and turned around and laughed. And then we
Oh,
just
I made
started
a
talking
joke.
about music. You made a joke, a really, really, really funny joke that I definitely laughed at. Um, but yeah, it's weird because, had I went into Tesco before and I didn't buy anything. I don't know why. I just went in and decided not to buy anything. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have met Zane. It's so weird.
See,
Yeah.
this is the thing with like not manifestation, but everything happens for a reason, and the proof is right there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
also
Definitely.
a second shout out to Tesco because I work there as well. So come
Big
on.
up.
Yeah.
Big up.
It's all linked,
Yeah.
see. But yeah, just from that chance meeting, it's mad how like obviously you're together now. What you've been making music since pretty much after that meeting, 2020-ish,
Yeah.
is that right?
Just a
16,
month after that. It was the end of
Oh
2019.
wow.
yeah,
So
we were 16 and we started
yeah.
releasing music under another name. Our first project, that story is really weird and funny. We're like 16, 17-year-olds getting like, we got a call from a French lawyer telling us to take down our music or to change our name
Oh,
because
what was the name? Are you allowed to repeat it, or are you going to get a cease and desist?
um, it was, yeah, it was más o menos, which is like a Spanish word, but they were like a DJ group and we were just like 16-year-olds, like not knowing what we were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Then it's because some songs did really well, so um, I think they might have gotten annoyed about that.
Yeah.
And then we had to sign these papers and scan them and send them back, and it was just a funny situation. Which is then Fred came over to Menorca And then from then on, we wrote stuff there, and that's what turned into Beachtown.
Yeah.
And Beachtown
Yeah.
was born. Love that.
Yeah.
True.
So like the Beachtown sounds, how can you describe it in like a few words? What would you say that at the core, what is the sound of Beachtown for the listeners who maybe haven't heard you too much before?
It's like alternative, new indie, I'd say. Alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, alternative new indie probably. That's what I'd use.
It's sort of going a bit into alternative pop at the moment.
Oh,
But weirdly enough, that's not our usual sort of
yeah.
genre, if you will. It's usually a bit more electronic-y.
Yeah.
Like for Broken, our first single of this upcoming EP, we got quite a lot of comments about how it's good club music and stuff like that. But we never intended it like that. We never intended to make a sort of a poppy club song. I'm not saying that it is a poppy club song, but a lot of people have been saying, it's good club music, which I'll take it, but it's not originally what we were going for. But it's cool.
I think it just because we love like quite. I don't know if it's technically type of music, but it's like anti-pop, where it'd be like Gene Dawson, well, those type of artists, where they have a bit more. It's like pop, but it's like edgy pop.
Yeah.
But in a cool way. I don't know. It's a fun type of music that I think
it feels quite like frenetic, and it just feels like it is what it wants to be.
Yeah.
Not put in a box, which is really
it's
cool.
fun. It's fun because it means we can do what we want with it. We don't really have to stick to a specific genre or sound. We sort of just go where the song takes us.
Yeah.
And in terms of like the process of making music, then like you self-produce everything, I presume. Like how does that get put together from start to the end product?
Well, the starting process is like usually like I'll start something like an idea. I usually like just have loads of ideas all the time, like different songs. And then when I send them to Fred, and then if there's something that Fred is like, this is something, then we'll then develop it from there. I'm reading now. Well, I finished Rick Rubin book where he talks about like you have in like music making or anything creative. If it's like a team or two people, you have the creator, and then you have a finisher. There's like two types of people, and I think Fred and me naturally do that quite well, where I'll like start ideas, and then Fred has a clear vision of what that idea should be. So it's works really well, really. And then we do work with a producer that we then develop stuff further, make it sound cooler
in the studio.
I mean, do you find that beneficial to work with collaborators? I mean, obviously the ideas mostly come from you, but is it cool to have like a second or third ear, if you like, to refine it?
Yeah, definitely. Our producer is really cool. He's always done alternative music. He's quite a rock guy as well, though, which we love. But it definitely helps because I think Fred and me can get quite stuck on things sometimes, where we're like, we just get very focused in one thing, and then all of a sudden his opinion gives us a different perspective on it. Like a lot of it was, he helped a lot with like developing melodies and vocals. Like you go to our older indie stuff and it's quite light, and then all the newer stuff is definitely in a way poppier, but that's because the melodies are stronger. So I guess, yeah, it really does help. It's really cool.
And so like you touched upon like Gene Dawson, but is there any other artists like currently that you look up to, or who you've been inspired by in the past?
I'd say like one of the big ones for me would be like Gorillaz, or
come on,
King Cruel,
Dijon and
Dijon
McGee
is a big one, and McGee.
Yeah,
we love Dijon
those
and
two
McGee.
definitely.
Yeah. I'm really liking Matt Champion's new album.
It's great.
Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I haven't heard of him, so I'm gonna have to.
Get
on that.
You have to listen. It's great. It's really good.
Matt Champion is he actually co-produced it with Dijon, I think.
Yeah.
But Matt Champion used to be used to be in Brockhampton, and now he's doing his own
Oh,
stuff.
okay, cool.
He's
Okay,
really good.
this is going on my list, guys. You're teaching me something here. And like looking ahead to the summer, have you got any gigs come up, or is there any festivals that you kind of think, oh yes, that is the top of our bucket list. We want to play there.
Oh, definitely. Festivals, all of them, any of them, we take. We haven't really done festivals. We're only doing we only started playing gigs last year, I think.
Yeah.
February last year. So it's been a year and a bit now. And we've started to get like nice crowds, like nice amount of people going to the gigs. We've got merch going. We're playing one on Friday, Sunday, and then next Thursday.
No, Thursday after that.
Thursday after.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Beachtown, the beer company. So we're doing lots of gigs, but no festival yet. But that's
in good time, because you've had support as well from Jack Saunders on Radio 1. How I bet that was so cool hearing it on Radio 1. I mean, come on.
It's so cool. Really cool.
And he did, because he did Broken, and he had such cool things to say about it. And then was it mainly for Broken he did?
He did Hate for Another Day as well.
He did Hate for Another Day as well, yeah. Oh, that was Tara Kumar as well, a DJ.
She did Optimista or Hate for Another Day? Hate for Another Day.
They should be doing all of them. Just saying.
True.
It's really cool. Like, we love it. It's awesome. And it always feels like really weird. And the way they describe it, because we don't really think about it when we're writing it. We just write it, we make it, we love it, so then we release it. And then their perspective on it is always really interesting to hear.
I mean, everyone has their own kind of take on it, don't they? I suppose that's quite interesting to hear everyone's thoughts.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Well, I'm gonna play the latest track again on the show, Optimista. So do you wanna give a little introduction for us?
This is Optimista by us, Beachtown.
And yes, it is. Thanks for joining me on the show, lads. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.